I mean, you don't think of vegetables when you think of chili, and not everybody puts vegetables in chili, but I honestly try to get vegetables in everything I make. Hey everybody, today I am making chili. We are headed to the lake. I know some people think the lake is just for summer people, but it's December and we are going to the lake. We have a place there that we're going to get ready to shut down for the winter time, and we are actually going to go out on the boat today too. But I wanted to go ahead and make chili here at home and get it in the crock pot and take it out there so that we have it for supper tonight, because it will be chilly out there. It'll be cold. So I've started off here. We have some venison, some deer meat that we had processed. So I'm starting off with 2 pounds of venison that I'm going to fry up and put in the crock pot. And then I have regular beef chili that I bought at the grocery store. And the chili, of course, comes in the, it's ground thicker than just regular ground beef. If you don't find it, you can use ground beef. But this is 2 pounds of this and 2 pounds of the venison. So it's going to be half and half. Anyway, so I'm browning the meat now, getting it all ready. I need to add a little salt to it. I forgot to do that. Venison, the reason I like to mix it up, I don't like just the wild flavor by itself, but venison is it's very lean. So it's good, it's kind of a good to mix it up. And when you mix it up, I had a friend who told me she did not eat deer meat. She did not eat deer chili. She could taste it no matter what. Well, she ate some of mine and told me how good it was, not knowing deer meat was in it. And I told her afterwards, well, you just ate deer meat. You didn't know it was in there. So whenever you mix it up, you don't know. And when she sees this, she'll know who I'm talking about. Anyways, I'm going ahead and season this up and go ahead and let it cook. And then in the meantime, I've got 2 cans of tomato sauce that I'll put in the crock pot, and then I'll put about a half a can of water. I put about a half a can of beer in it. And that helps with the wild flavor too, and it's really good. Instead of using all the seasonings, if you don't have all the seasonings of chili, the best thing to do is to buy this 2 Alarm Chili kit, because it has all the seasoning packets in it, and then I just use those. But I don't like put all of it. You'll see I put about half of some of it, and then I add things too. Like I do not use the flour, the mace, or the thickening, and I do not use, I don't like dried onion, so I don't use that. But I do use the paprika. If you have this stuff in your pantry, which I do, but I wanted to show you this, you can just do this and it makes it easier because you get the right amounts. I'd use the whole thing of paprika, and I'd use the whole thing. This is the cumin. I'll use all of that. The chili powder, I usually use about half of that. I kind of guess at it. You can just throw the whole packet in if you want. And then if you want it spicy, this is the red pepper. I don't use this. I cut up fresh vegetables. I put in the jalapeno, and I put in the onion and the bell pepper, and then I put in some of this, which is a little bit spicy. I might put a tad of this in, but I really don't like my chili hot, so it just varies. I usually don't put this in. So basically all I use out of it is the cumin, the paprika, and the chili powder. And now I'm going to go back over here and brown this a little more. Get it all ready. I'm just going to start adding the stuff to the crock pot over there. And then we'll bring cheese and fritos. When I make chili, I do the fritos and the tostitoes and let everybody make it how they want to. If they just want in crackers. So if they like Frito pie, they can have a Frito pie. If they like it on Doritos instead, they can do that, or just with crackers. Everybody has their own way of liking to eat chili. So I just always provide all that whenever I make chili. Now this, like if you make it by that package direction, you only use 2 pounds of hamburger meat. I mean, I add a lot more stuff than what it says, a lot more of the tomato sauce than what it requires, because I like my chili I like it to be a little bit juicy. This is getting browned. I want to get it all the way browned. I'm going to go ahead and start getting all of this ready. I'm going to go ahead and put these in. I'm going to put a half a can of water in it. And I may end up adding a little more after I get everything in it. And we'll go ahead and put... And you know what you do with the other half of the beer? You drink it. And you can put a whole can in, but I think for me, a half a can is plenty. Okay, so I'm just going to stir up what I've put in here so far while I'm waiting on the other to cook. And I'm going to go ahead and put some seasoning. Used that packet of that Alarm Chli packet used to come with a package of salt too, but it doesn't anymore. And on the chili packets, if you do the packets, that is the best one. That's the one I like to use. And sometimes it's hard to find. It's the Wickers Alarm Chli. And now I'm going to cut up. And I think for the chili, I'm going to go ahead and leave the seeds in. So we do have a little spice, because the seeds and the membranes is where you get your spice on the jalapeno peppers. If you take those out, you're really just kind of getting the flavor of a jalapeno without the heat, too much of the heat. Now the onions and actually I think with all of this, I'm going to go ahead and saute it before I put it in, because that just enhances the flavors more when you saute it first. I'm going to only do half of it with the membrane. I don't like heat as much as some other people do. Of course, if we're sitting out cold, out by the fire or on the porch tonight, we may want that heat because it will be chilly outside. Do the meat again. Pretty much almost looks a little red still. I'm going to let it cook just a tad longer. And you can see with the chili, with the venison, you don't have the grease because it's so lean. That's why it's good for you. It looks ready to me. And I'm going to strain it. I strain it into this bowl. This probably won't, but the rest will have a lot of grease. I strain it into this bowl so that I'm not doing it down the disposal, because that gets into our water system and it clogs up your drains and stuff. So I don't put it down my sink. And this is an easy way to do it. Then I'll just pour that grease out later somewhere else. Break up some of those pieces a little more. There is no grease that came out on this. That's how lean venison is, and that's why it's good to use. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pour it in here. And I've already turned the crock pot on so it can start heating up. I'm making this up. It's going to finish cooking out there. We're not going to have time for it to cook here. But since we plan on going out on the boat and stuff, I wanted something that could be cooking. And we don't want to cook while we're out there. We want to have fun. And we have friends that we go out there with, and we want to enjoy and visit. Uh-oh. We're seasoning this up. You know, chili is kind of salty, so you want to get enough going in there. And this seasoning, this Cajun seasoning I've showed you before, and it's got quite a bit of spice to it, so we're getting spice in our chili. So this is 2 pounds of chili meat. That deer meat may have been 1 pound because this looks like more. But you can do as much as you want. You just add more tomato sauce if you're feeding a crowd. So while that is cooking, I'm going to go ahead and keep cutting up the vegetables while we wait for the... I'll keep checking on the other meat, but we'll go ahead and get these vegetables cut up for the chili. I throw all the stuff into the empty cans. Kind of helps for easy cleanup. Oh, I know one thing I missed was garlic. We do want garlic in it. And that's probably because I put garlic in everything. That's probably about 2 pods. I know everybody doesn't put, I mean, you don't think of vegetables when you think of chili, and not everybody puts vegetables in chili, but I honestly try to get vegetables in everything I make somehow or another. So that's, I figure you can get bell peppers and onions and jalapeno peppers into chili. Give it a little, you know, just anywhere you can add vegetables in your life, you should. While I'm chopping up the vegetables and stuff, I check on this, but I turn it down to medium so it cooks slower so that I can chop up my vegetables while it is browning, because it cooks a little slower. If I get done, then I'll come over here and turn it up and finish it up. But see, you see the difference in the grease in the beef and the venison, and this I think is an 80-20, I think, cut. So now I'm chopping up the onions. We want to get them small. Oops. And I'm going to do half of a thing of cilantro. And this cilantro has been in my refrigerator a couple of days, so it doesn't look, it's good. It just doesn't look as fresh as if I just bought it. But it's only a couple of days old. And it's an item you can omit if you don't like cilantro. I say that all the time. Now for the cilantro, I'm just going to go ahead and put it into the crock pot. And I'm going to saute these other items real quick. I'm going to check and see where we are on them. On the chili meat. I'm going to saute it in the same pan as the chili meat. The chili meat is ready to drain. I'm going to drain it into this pan because there is quite a bit of grease on it. Okay, and it's drained. It's just dripping a little bit more. You can rinse it with water to rinse it out a little more. See, and it's starting to, see how it's looking? So when it cooks all day, it can get all those flavors. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to add a little olive oil to the pan. And I'm going to put all this in, and I'm going to put it in a bowl to pull it over there. These little bowls come in handy to transport. And I'm just going to saute enough to get the onions translucent, and then I'm going to put it into the crock pot. It's just a couple minutes, 5 at the most. I've got it on high. And you don't have to saute, you could just put them in there, but like I said, when you soften up the onions and stuff, it just enhances the flavor. It opens up the flavors a little bit more. Plus it adds a little olive oil to the chili meat because we're sauteing in it. Let that saute for just a little bit. While that's sauteing, I'm gonna add my seasonings to this. This is the chili powder. So if you get these packets, I do about half of it. I think that's plenty because I think there's a lot in there. And the cumin, I add all of it. Well, if I can get it open. And then the paprika, I add all of it too. Whoops. So now we'll stir that in. See, it's starting to look a lot like chili. Those seasonings are how you get, those seasonings are the chili flavor that you know. That's how it gets. Otherwise, it's just another dish with tomato sauce. Okay, these are ready. They didn't take very long. And we're going to go ahead and dump those in, olive oil and all. So now, the chili is, all it needs to do is cook in the crock pot. I'm going to put it on 8 hours because chili, the longer you cook it, the more the flavors get in it. And see, look, you have the vegetables in here. And when we have it with our friends tonight, we won't tell them that deer meat's in it, and let's see if they notice. Does it look good? Okay, we will see you at the lake tonight when we eat this chili.
This is what it looks like when it's done. We've been out on the boat all day having fun, and this has just been in the crock pot cooking. So we're serving it all up now, and we're out at the lake, and we're gonna sit around outside. It's a little chilly, probably in the 40s. So serving chili will be really good tonight. We'll let you know how it is. Be sure and try it. So be sure and subscribe to my channel and hit the like button. Bye.